Since we started designing templates originally for Squarespace and now most recently for Hostinger, 2 website builder platforms, we've had numerous students and clients asking us the question, why? Why are we building templates when A, there's already a range of templates on the platforms, and B, shouldn't we be starting from scratch as seasoned professional designers anyway? Are we cutting corners to make bigger profit margins? The answer to that last one could well be yes. We are aiming to increase our profit margins on projects, but at the same time, we're also looking to drive down the price on our products as well. That might be a spoiler alert for what's coming up, but before we delve into this in more detail, I'd like to jump in the time machine and tell you a little story of my very first experiences in web design. So let's hit that button and go back in time. Not that far. Jeez, don't want to do this video now. So the year was 2004. We were approaching the autumn, and myself and my business partner started out trying to be a product design company based on our degrees in, as you might have guessed it, product design. But I had experience in web design, and I felt it was a great vehicle for us to start making money early doors to be able to build up some cash reserves before we could go after product design. We had an opportunity to work with a national organisation who had a funding pot of up to £100,000 that we could tap into as much or as little as we wanted. We had caught wind of the fact that this pot hadn't been used effectively over previous years, and that's sometimes what you get with government funding. So we decided that we were going to go all out. We started working with another partner who was introduced to us from a friend who was far more experienced in building websites and had been running a web design consultancy from the late 90s. One of the advantages he could bring to us was he had a process using Macromedia Dreamweaver at the time, before it was bought out by Adobe, to build websites on a content management system in a really, really quick turnaround. We're talking 4 to 5 hours to build a brand new website from the ground up. Someone may have forgotten to include a rather important plot device in this story. The fact that we use templates as part of these quick turnaround projects. Now, I'm not talking about these gorgeous, beautiful, incredibly good-looking templates available on the Pixelhaze Academy store, hint, hint. But for 2004, these templates still look really sharp, were versatile, and a way of turning around brochure websites rather quickly. We didn't have other headaches that we do today, like responsive design, mobile first, and potential e-commerce features. These were simple digital brochures ideal for small and micro businesses. Armed with that knowledge and that USP, my business colleague and I started to span across the entirety of Wales, trying to find new clients in the forestry and woodland sector. I spent the best part of 3 months travelling across the A55's, a dual carriageway in North Wales, visiting businesses in the back of nowhere, and I wanted to win the race between my business partner to sign up as many as possible. If we played our cards right, that healthy competition internally would spur enough sales, we would end our very first year in business with £100,000 in our pocket. It wasn't a case of wanting it, we needed that so we could grow our business after maybe taking a short holiday in January. As we were going through the process, I was meeting new people, learning lots of lessons, getting my backside handed to me by some potential clients who obviously didn't see the sincerity in my eye. By the second week of December, we had signed up 85 clients on this new plan. That was 85,000 that we would be able to invoice to the organisation who handles the grant funding. We'd run a monthly check-in with them to make sure everything's still okay, the funding pot was available. Our sales had really accelerated in those last few weeks. Then I had the phone call. You know that moment you're on the roller coaster where your heart just goes up into your mouth? I had that equivalent by just sitting in an unmoving car. My business partner phoned me at 9:30 p.m. on a Thursday night, just before I was going to travel back to my family home in mid-Wales, to tell me the great news. Not only were we not able to sign up any more clients because there was no money, we wouldn't receive any funding for what we'd already signed up. To this day, I can't tell you what happened, other than the fact that we were told that there was a pot of funding that just didn't exist that particular year. I'd be lying to say that the next few weeks were easy and we bounced back really quickly. We were on the verge of quitting the industry altogether. It was a hammer blow that we just weren't prepared for. We eventually scrambled, picked ourselves up from the mat, and proceeded to contact those clients, and we managed to salvage 8 or 9 projects. 3 months earlier, we had hired 2 of our good friends from university to do the cold outreach for us, so we used the funds to pay for their salaries up to date, but it did mean that we had to make 2 of our best friends redundant 2 weeks before Christmas. Not the best feeling I've had in my life, I'll be honest. We ended up scrambling 8 or 9,000. That meant we could break even on our overheads, travel costs, and salaries. That was not the best outcome. The lessons we learned were twofold. 1, always double check information and be as thorough as you can. If it seems too good to be true, then it could well be that way. And secondly, the template system worked. It was efficient, simple to set up, and allowed us to build websites in a quick turnaround to our clients. Those 3 months made me, and it's no surprise that having grown that agency to move away from template solutions to fully bespoke projects for multinational companies, with Pixelhaze over the last 8 to 9 years, we've moved it back to workshops for small and micro businesses using efficient processes, so we're not reinventing the wheel. Templates are just the natural extension of that. Let me give you an example. We have a client who's in the construction industry, will message me via Facebook Messenger and say, I need a website. My expectation is that 8 or 9 out of 10 of these clients will not want to be heavily involved in the process. They're busy. They don't have any interest in building websites. They certainly don't want to build their own website, and probably don't want to be spending the time writing content for their own site. So what I've been aiming to do over that period of time is to create an efficient system that takes a lot of the heavy lifting off our client. We can handhold them through the process so they are just as fresh at the end of the website project as they are at the start when they jump into it. I could tell a different story about that long and winding road to a system that I feel is our best version of ourselves right now, but I'm not going to say that today. What I can say is templates are for your clients, not for you. If you're a designer and you want to build a website from scratch, completely bespoke to your client, absolutely fine. And if you choose not to charge a bespoke rate for that, that's fine as well. But if you want to find a system that's scalable where you can reduce your margins and deliver a premium product at the end, then templates could be the way to go. Our workshop process is as follows. We meet with the client and we go through the website blueprint as quickly as possible. This is a refined approach where I can create a formal brief for a client utilizing AI technology to speed up the process. We have a face-to-face interview that I try to keep as casual and as conversational as possible. We can then create a brief in as little as 15 minutes, including the interview. From that brief, we can start mapping out the structure by wireframing and using example content to go into our site. We then choose the most suitable template for our clients. And this is the kicker. When the client sees a template in a similar industry, it reassures them on quality. Also, it might give them ideas that they haven't already come equipped to the meeting with. We could do a lot more of the legwork, but if you're not an experienced designer, that's really tough to do, to come up with ideas off the top of your head in terms of the type of content that will resonate with their audience. These pages have been thoroughly polished, plus we've been able to add mobile and tablet device checks, and we still have the flexibility to move things around. Website builders like Squarespace and Hostinger Website Builder, we've got the ability to adjust as we go. I've created websites from templates that look completely different by the time we've changed the content, moved the structure around, and changing the brand guidelines to match the colors and the fonts. And so the moral of today's story is the mistake many designers, including myself in various points of my career, will make is that we feel that every design needs to be award-winning. We need something wholly unique, something completely different that hasn't been seen before to justify our price tag. And that's okay. As I mentioned, if you want to go down the bespoke route, absolutely fine. You can carve out a very successful career at the sharp edge of the business. But if you want to provide something that's thoroughly professional, polished, tested before you even start working on it, and efficient so you can turn around an entire website project in as little as 2 to 3 hours, then working from a template starting point is the way to go. It gives you so much more control over the project. It means you can provide premium services to your clients at a heavily reduced rate compared with bespoke. That's our entire ethos at Pixelhaze, to demystify technology and bridge the gap between agency level services and small and startup businesses. Give it a try, see if it works for you. I'd love to hear what you've got to say about it. And before we wrap up, I just wanted to answer the one question that I asked myself right at the start of this video. Why would you design your own templates if you're using website builders like Squarespace or Hostinger that have their own templates? And the reason being is variety and choice, but also we have control over them, meaning that we know them inside out, we're very comfortable with them, but also we can steer the fictional content that we use AI tools to create. So ChatGPT creates a fictional business with us prompting the information. That's based on our experiences of the clients that we work with. Every designer will have different experiences. That's enough for me today. I'll catch you next time. Cheers.